Yeah.
So then I said to the lobotomist, no, I'm kidding.
Oh, nice. Was it through the eye or was it the electrode?
It was actually through the nose.
Oh. Oh my God. Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Paranormal Misfits Podcast.
Yay. All right. So you know this podcast is part of the You Run Podcast Network, where you can
I
find
do.
all sorts of fun and exciting podcasts just like ours.
Mhm.
Check them in the show notes. And with
Please,
that, please check them in the show notes.
please check them in the show notes.
This is Paranormal Misfits Podcast, where the curious roam, the weird feels at home, and horror is just another day in the office.
Bitches.
I am one half of this captivating duo,
Oh,
Chrissy.
captivating.
I know.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls, kids of 18 years and older.
Hopefully. So.
Please. My name is Nino Daniel, and this is my story.
It started during the birth video.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it. I can't say I was never, first of all, anyways.
Story for another day.
Story for a different podcast.
That's right.
Any shout outs, any early show shout outs you want to give out, say?
So this episode comes out in May. I want to shout out David from Warrior Paranormal for allowing me to go on the paranormal investigation with him over at the old Clay County Jail. I'll talk about that later in the season. Yay.
Ooh.
How about you?
I want to give a shout out to me, bitch.
Me, because I made it back.
Me, because it's still Ramadan.
Oh, yeah.
And your boy is going through, I'm going through changes in my life.
Yeah. Enjoying them?
Oh, it's been fun. I mean, yesterday was a shitty day.
Right.
Yesterday, I forgot to take out my turkey bacon.
No.
And all I had for 12 hours was a smoothie.
Oh, God.
I thought I was going to die.
Good thing you didn't.
But I didn't. Because y'all can't catch me. Y'all ain't never gonna catch me.
Never.
But yeah, what are we chatting about this week?
So it can't be a Paranormal Misfits season without me ranting about something that the Warrens have done, right?
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, same way it can't be a Paranormal Misfits season if I'm not talking about pedophilia and the elite and the occult and how much, Hollywood sucks. But pop off, queen.
Okay, cool. All right. So this time I hyper-focused on Annabelle. So I know everybody knows the Annabelle movies.
Uh-huh.
The nice creepy ceramic doll that has
cheekbones for days.
Coming home, birth, we got all the movies.
She began, she came home, she started. There was no return.
There was no purchase. Stopping her.
Listen, Annabelle's that bitch.
Extra creepy. And so we all know the Conjuring franchise. We all know Warren's hands in the little pot that stirred everything up. So I want to talk about the actual case and its inconsistencies, and then Hollywood doing such a great job of entertaining us with it. For the
it sounds like you're gonna rip someone a new asshole.
It's potential, but we'll see. All right. So Annabelle is not your porcelain doll. She is a Raggedy Ann doll.
Mm-hmm.
And she was gifted from a mother to her nursing student daughter who was turning 28 at the time in 1971.
1971, 18 at the time. Okay.
28.
Oh.
28.
See how quickly I don't listen?
See how quickly that happened?
See how quickly dyscalculia is like, she said she was 1783.
Ramadan said, take off 10.
Sorry, guys. Okay, don't come for mommies.
Right. So, apparently, this doll waited a couple of days before creating chaos for the nurse and her friend, who was also a roommate at the time. At first, it was the small little things. subtle movements the doll would make while it was in its spot, something slightly moving, stuff like that, right? So it was stated by the Warrens in their first book, The Demonologist, that the doll did leave childlike written messages to the ladies during its reign of terror. So I don't know if you remember in the Annabelle movie,
Cool.
but it would write those like messages on like the torn paper, and it would look like between a 5 to like a 7-year-old wrote it.
I don't like.
To be fair, movies with haunted dolls, they terrify me because
Sure.
just Cabbage Patch dolls used to terrify me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, sweetie.
So oddly enough, before the Warrens actually stepped in, it was about a year that the roommates experienced all this different phenomenon.
Okay.
Now, there was apparently at some point a red-like substance on the doll that neither of the ladies could account for and suspected it was blood, although they couldn't find the source of the blood. They did reach out to a medium prior to reaching out to the Warrens. This medium came over and held a seance.
Okay, so we're off to a great start.
We're off to a fabulous start. And it's during this seance that we discover that a spirit is inhabiting this Raggedy Ann doll, whose name is, oddly enough, Annabelle. And it is alleged to be a 7-year-old girl who used to play in the fields that existed prior to the apartment complex and where it stands now. Annabelle the girl was found in the fields, apparently deceased. And with the bleeding hearts of 2 women, one of them being a nurse, they agreed to let the spirit stay in the doll and inhabit the doll. Why the fuck we do this?
All because of some real estate?
I don't know. All right. So, like, I don't.
Tell me.
It's some white people shit. Because if I'm doing, first off, you're not going to catch me around a seance. I'm sorry.
Girl.
But if I have to unwillingly watch a seance, like if it's happening in my house and I happen to walk in and I'm hearing this information,
if it's recorded, right? Like if someone shows you a videotape of a real seance, like it doesn't count, right?
Right. I hope not. That's what I'm hoping. You couldn't catch me allowing a spirit to inhabit something in my house. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you're 7 years old. Like, just stay. It's okay.
Like, how are you gonna pay rent?
What the fuck did you say? What did the spirit say for you to be like, absolutely, I'll be your friend? Okay. Anyways, so
snack cabinets right over there. Just like
over here, going back to the Am I the Asshole episode where the guy had the spirit in a house and he was just like, oh, it's nothing. It's just Casper banging around.
Are
like,
you
the fuck?
Girl, not in this country, continent, time zone. No ma'am, no ham, no pam.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so while the doll wasn't as conniving as the doll in the movie, because that doll was on some demon shit, the doll did allegedly cause some harm to people during this time. The fiance of the roommate, his name is Lou, stayed over one night at the apartment and had openly stated that the doll makes him uncomfortable. Now, if you've ever seen a Raggedy Ann doll, it's floppy. It's got bright red.
It's a pillow. It's basically
yarn hair,
a pillow.
Yeah. And the thing is it wasn't an old doll. It was a brand new doll.
Wait. The Raggedy Ann doll at the time
was a brand new
but
doll.
Inhabited by a 7-year-old ghost.
Supposedly.
7-year-old girl in the shape of a ghost.
Yes. In the shape. I love it. Wow. There's a shape. Yes. Okay.
Shut up. It's Ramadan.
So, anyways, so after he stated that opinion, right? He said it makes him uncomfortable. It's evil. And basically, in my opinion, it's ask and you shall receive. Right? You state it out loud. It's more likely to come to fruition. So he said that while he slept, he saw the doll at his feet and glide up his leg and then to his chest.
Hell no.
In which the doll strangled him.
Oh, Peter.
Yes.
Peter.
He woke up the next morning spooked and unsure if it was a dream or not. There was another incident with Lou, and this is where I get the vibes that the doll is not very male-friendly.
What about gay males?
Don't know.
I'm not testing it, but
You're
like
not.
if another member of the LGBT wants to
kind of go over to the Warrens and go find out for us, please. Thank you.
Not the Warrens.
Not the Warren. That's where the doll's at. Okay, anyways. He had heard some noise from a closed room while he and his fiance were, I believe they were studying or they were doing something.
I'm sure they were studying anatomy.
So he went to the room where the door was closed and the noise was coming from, and he waited a minute. And the noise stopped. I guess maybe the spirit sensed his presence outside the door. And he waited a moment before he opened the door, and then he saw the doll laying on the floor in the corner, which is not where she was. As he walked to the doll, he got that I always feel like somebody's watching me kind of vibes.
Hell no.
Turned around to see no one there. He then doubled over in pain, grabbing at his chest. Here is where he found 7 claw-like scratches on his chest. And mind you, the research that I did stated that these claw-like scratches that were so painful were gone in a couple of days. Brain it.
It's giving accuracy.
Accuracy.
My new single, Accuracy. I'm kidding. Okay, go.
Okay, so
you guys, while we're laughing, click the show notes, purchase the merch, give us 5-star reviews, follow me and Paranormal Misfits podcast on social media. Thanks, love you, bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, so when the Warrens step in, right? After the alleged attack on Lou, this is when his fiance and he reached out to an Episcopal priest named Father Hogan, who then contacted his superior, Father Cook, who then reached out to the Warrens.
Hulk?
So, like, that is the most hot potato telephone game I've ever seen.
That's literally like, let me bubble this up.
Let me take this up the ladder, guys.
You guys, let me bubble this up to management. I'm surprised they were one telegram away from the Pope. I know it.
I mean, yeah. So the roommate expressed that she believed the spirit wasn't as innocent. Clearly, we waited over a year, as she and her roommate had thought that the doll was. The Warrens then convinced Father Cook to perform an exorcism on the apartment in order to cleanse the home and bless the individuals there. At everyone's request, the Warrens took ownership of the doll, and it remains in the Warrens' ownership to this day in Connecticut. And that's the overview of Annabelle.
I just want to point out that movie A Simple Favor is also set in Connecticut. Correlation? Who knows?
New England has some wild, wild paranormal shit. Because you got to remember, in the same area, all of the Conjuring movies are based in New England.
And you mean New England, America?
Yes. Within, like, the Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut, it's vibing up there. Miraculously, everything the Warrens touch that is up north is all demonic. Right?
Everything.
Right.
Everything. From pencil
to the veins. Any questions so far on the story? I'm still trying to figure out how a new doll got inhabited.
Hello? That's literally my numero uno question. Like, I'm not even playing with you. Like, how did a brand new doll, fresh off of the fucking sewing machine?
Yeah. Yes. It is not like the movie where that Annabelle looks raggedy as fuck.
It's literally like
cracked.
It's a fucking, yeah, literally. It's a weird looking little doll thing.
Yes. So just to let you guys know, the Annabelle movies post Annabelle, the first one, is just them building out different stories. It has nothing to do that goes with the actual Annabelle case itself. Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to go into a quick ad break. Do you have any things, any stuffs?
Hey guys. Before we get into this ad break, please make sure you support Paranormal Misfits Podcast by clicking the show notes and following Paranormal Misfits Podcast and official Nino Daniel on all social media platforms. You are welcome to purchase the merch, however, that might cost money, which in this economy, we don't accept eggs as payment. But yeah, just like follow us on all socials, it's free. And
hey, spooky friends. We want to spotlight another awesome podcast through the You Run Podcast Network, the Dewey Pod Monster Podcast. It's all about consumption that parties for your right to fight. They cover all kinds of subjects like beer, movies, music, and more. With them, nothing is off limits. Episodes come out every Tuesday morning, and you can catch on them on Spotify and Apple.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, bye. Are we back?
I think so.
Is that back? Okay, cool. Is that back?
Is that back?
Is that
All
back?
right. Yay.
You guys. Damn, Alabama.
She
tramp, Alabama.
Put her daughter's name out there.
Hello.
I am so prepared for the clapback that's coming.
I'm prepared. War. And you know what's crazy is we're all on Bad Baby's side.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody coming to check on you, Alabama.
No. All right. Anyways.
Alabama.
So we talked about Annabelle, the overview of the case. There was details, but there wasn't a lot of details, and like it gets muddled. So my favorite thing we all know about the Warrens is the inconsistencies.
Everything. You love them.
The debunking.
Bagans.
Stop it. Stop it. That is a whole, if I wanted to go into the drama between the son-in-law and Zach Bagans, that would be a whole ass episode. All you got to do is Google it and you can just find the tweets and the stuff. And I'm like, y'all are wild. Y'all make too much money for this shit.
Does he make a lot of money?
Yeah, Zach Bagans does. He's actually opening up is it a movie like or a production company?
Whoa. That's crazy. You guys, okay. I don't know what. That was not a burp. I think the room is haunted.
Oh no.
Call back to that one video. Sorry, anyways. Tangentials.
First, I would like to point out clearly I'm not their biggest fan. We all know this. We knew this from...
What do you mean?
Which... I forgot which case it was. Which one was it? Oh, The Conjuring House.
Yeah.
The Conjuring House. And obviously I've stated this more than enough times now.
Yeah.
So I will openly state that I was not there, but my main problem with the Warrens who they are is that the individuals and families that they claim to help have never been compensated like the Warrens, especially Lorraine, had promised. Because...
You mean financially? Like
financially.
Once again. Okay, cool.
Yes, because they made books, they went on tours about them. Movies, and there's no good compensation that came from it. So... everything they investigate, just like Zach Bagans now, comes off to be demonic. Everything's demonic. And I mean, hello. So, and their stories never truly match later on, whether it's the them retelling the story, or it's them telling their version of the story while the family's like, that didn't happen, bruh.
The family's like, so what happened was...
So see, what happened was I hit my head yesterday, and today you asked me this question, and now I just got to flip it a little bit.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the story and the age, the story of the age and the way that the female spirit who possesses the raggedy Annabelle, changes within a matter of 10-ish years. So this happens in the 70s. By the 80s, age and death has changed. Okay. All
Again?
right. So originally, if you remember, Annabelle is 7, who passed away in a field where the complex stands. And this is what the Warrens put in their book like a year or two later after helping on the case.
A physically
obtaining the doll.
A real book. An existing human time book.
Correct. Because you can Google it and you can hop on, even though we're not supporting them right now, Amazon and read the reviews.
I was like, we're not supporting Amazon?
I'm not. Not right now.
Got it.
So anyways, so fast forward to around the 1980s, and Ed Warren himself is giving a tour at their home in their occult museum. So they hold...
they hold like a...
They have a little museum that has all of these supposed haunted trinkets of demons.
Which, don't you have to pay to get in?
Of course.
Because why would it be free?
Why would it? So it said that that's where they obviously has many haunted artifacts, including Annabelle. And I will link the video of the tour in question because I found it. In this video, he states the spirit of Annabelle, now mind you, this is just the 1980s, was 6 years old and died of a car accident in front of the apartment complex. And that the doll was given for Christmas and not as a birthday gift, even though that's not what was said. And that's just 10 years.
Wait.
Yeah.
So this ghost is supposed to be 17 at the time?
Yes, instead now we've made her 16.
People are funny.
Now, I have a thing about this because it's your case. You investigated it. You obtained the doll in question. Mm-hmm. But you can't tell your story accurately. It changed ever so slightly. And they're very small, minute changes when you think about it. Whenever you think about in the cases of like explaining haunted demonic things, normally, like this stuff was shaking, this happened, scratches, But what changes is the actual information about the said spirit that is supposed to inhabit this doll.
Like the credible information in which everything is built.
Correct. And you put it in writing. And then the stuff you put in writing, you still can't quote back properly.
And then you published it.
And then, exactly. That is still out in publication today. You can still buy it. Mm-hmm. You can still buy their books.
Would you want to?
No. I don't even want to check them out from the library. Okay? Thanks.
Oh, that's saying something.
Okay, so the doll is in their possession. They put it in a wooden box that has plexiglass that is somehow blessed to keep the doll inside, to keep the spirit inside. I still haven't figured out this part yet. I still haven't figured this part out at all.
Wooden doll plexiglass blessed. How? We don't know.
Supposedly by the Pope or a church or something.
Back then, you had to physically have that person present. Now you can just do that shit over Zoom. Speaking of, did you know that Skype is officially going, like, it's sunsetting on May 5th?
Really?
Yeah.
Zoom kicked its ass too much?
Zoom took all their business.
Damn. Well, I mean, to be fair, it did have a lot of lagging. Okay.
And we continue.
So they claim that the doll caused the death of a young man who allegedly mocked the doll during a tour while it was in its plexiglass. And I don't understand this one either. The doll is contained. The spirit, the power of whatever is contained in the glass.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
How can it cause a death of somebody?
So you see, because the government...
All right. So this is what was alleged. A young man mocked the doll while he and his girlfriend were touring the museum. It was said that Ed Warren had kicked him out, and within 3 hours, the young man died when he lost control of his motorcycle and hit a tree. He passed away, but his girlfriend, who was with him, did survive. I didn't put this in there, but it was about a year's worth of recovery. Again, I'm still trying to figure out How can something that's absolutely contained by blessed materials cause harm to an individual who did not physically touch it? I need
Because the
it.
government.
Because see what had happened was
No, because Elon Musk.
But I mean, what do you?
I have so many thoughts on this, but none of them are nice.
I mean,
So
we all know I don't care.
I'm like looking at the show notes. Okay, so remember last week, aka for us like an hour ago,
Yes.
when we were talking about like ask the why?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't Ed and Lorraine explore the why? How or the how? Would it discredit them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Absolutely. Well, let's get a little deeper into this because you have really diehard fans of the Warrens.
Yeah.
And then you have people who, like me,
who are like, fuck off.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's not a fine line. It's a very definitive line.
It's the haves and the have-nots kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So they only had one daughter. Now, here's the other thing. Why would you have an occult museum in your house?
And then have a child.
And have a child. And have birthday parties.
Because the government.
Stop it. The government has nothing to do with this today. Just today.
Just today. That's a read. That's a read if I've ever heard one, bitch.
All right.
If y'all have been paying attention to any of our episodes, the way I say because the government and like oh my god.
Okay. So they have a daughter. She gets married to a Tony Sapura.
So close.
I believe. I don't like him either, so I don't try and learn.
Wait, why don't we like him? Tell me. I want to not like him.
I will. You want me to? Okay. Because he follows the trend. He sat there and he's like, this is such a great thing. And he monetizes off of this. Now, he's not himself a personal paranormal investigator. Okay. The Warrens have passed away.
Yeah, they're dead.
They're dead. And the daughter doesn't do anything paranormal based. She wants to live a regular life. She
probably makes money off the movies though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Mainly because Tony has inserted himself.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to disrespect an entire community, but Tony sounds like the parents, siblings, and ex-boyfriend or husband of a certain singer whose killer is due to be released on the 30th of this month of March in 2025.
Yeah.
That's who Tony sounds like.
All right. He monetizes off of this.
Just really quick. Quick.
Uh-huh.
If by any way this message is making its way to Yolanda Saldivar,
I'm catching you outside.
Girl. Babe, we waiting. I've waited for this.
Right?
Anyways, so sorry.
Okay, so they have a son-in-law who's still
oh god.
Pushes out the
They have a son-in-law?
Spew of the shit. That's who Tony is.
Why did I think child? Why did I think the daughter had a child? Like
No. This is the son-in-law. I don't even know if they have kids. I didn't go that far.
Because the government. Okay. I'm gonna stop before I get hit.
Before all of a sudden our podcast is like no longer. Not by choice. All right, so we're
the amount of work you're gonna do in editing this episode. I'm so sorry. Leave this in though. Hold on. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna move past the actual Ed and Lorraine, right? And we're gonna dive into their son-in-law Tony, who still shares this doll to the community. Okay.
Fuck
Now,
you.
as you know, like I've said multiple times now, the doll is allegedly possessed by a demon. Okay? Possessed
Turns
by
out it was Tony puppeteering the whole thing.
a demon. From the womb? I don't know.
No.
Okay.
anyways.
So why in the hell are we flying this doll around the US to conventions?
No. Stick to the stuff you know. If you want to be cool, follow one simple rule. Don't mess with the status quo. Like, literally. Don't
Now,
fucking didn't okay. I saw a video of this shit. Now you're bringing some shit up that I remember. I remember when someone was like, I remember in like there was a convention like a few years back where they're like, so they just brought out the Annabelle doll. I would have fled the planet. Y'all don't understand. Again, I'm gonna say it to you. I've been saying it to you all season, every season. Don't fuck with God.
no.
Like, okay, go ahead. Sorry, I'm cutting
No,
you off.
you're
Too. I
fine.
don't know
You're
why I
fine.
keep cutting you off.
So the one and only, I thought he took it out at conventions, and I couldn't find anything that like validated my claim on that part. I can say this with full, like my full chest on this one.
Okay.
There is an episode when Zach Bagans, I think it's like in between the COVID time period, because clearly we weren't allowed to travel, so Zach Bagans got to come up with some fucking episodes somehow, right? Zach Bagans has a haunted museum in Vegas with haunted artifacts. Shit owned by serial killers. Like Ed Gein's fucking cauldron, he has. The mirror, I think, of Lugosi, he has. He has Angel of, what is it, Dr. Angel of Death or whatever, that serial killer who was putting his patients out of their miseries, supposedly, but come to find out it's more of, I don't remember his name. Okay. So apparently there must have been a really good relationship at some point between Tony and Zach Bagans. There is a whole lot of drama on this, and I tried to go down the rabbit hole, but I knew if I went down the rabbit hole, this episode would be like 4 fucking episodes long, because the amount of pettiness these two bitches have for each other is fucking insane. Okay.
Is it because, and I mean this genuinely, is it because Tony is actually a part of the Warren family in a way?
Yeah, but Tony is not anything paranormally
Neither
invested.
the fuck is Zach Bagans, the tits.
To the community, he is. Well, again, he's another one of those, just like the Warrens, has a clear divide. There's a yes or a no on him.
And you know what? If my bestie says we don't like him, I hate him.
We don't like him.
Okay, so I hate him, despise him. Ew.
But I did watch this episode because it made me laugh.
Oh God, what happened?
Okay, so during COVID time period, Tony agrees to fly out with Annabelle and put Annabelle outside of her case, takes her outside of her case, and puts her in the haunted doll room Zach Bagans has at his haunted museum.
In Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas. So, this was like a 2 or 3 part episode. I believe the Annabelle doll portion is like the second part to like the big, because they were investigating the whole museum, right? Because he has haunted artifacts.
No.
Anyways.
No.
And taking the doll out made no sense to me because of how they took her out.
How did they take her out? Oh my God.
He took her out with like black rubber gloves on.
Ho! It's not a fucking venereal disease. It's a demonically possessed Raggedy Ann doll. Like, what the fuck? But some people do believe that, like, physical touch, like, some people do believe, like, if you touch something with your hands.
But here's the thing, though, is that, like, you take it out of its secured setting, you're letting it out into the universe.
And in Las Vegas.
In an already supposedly haunted museum with other haunted things. Okay?
White people are white peopling.
So yes, all he did was he put gloves on, moved her out of the box over to a rocking chair, and then they had their investigation on it, right? I'm still trying to understand how this works, right? Because if it caused the death of a young man who mocked it while it's behind its glass, its secured case, why are you taking it out and presenting it?
Because the government...
No more government.
You guys, she's mad.
Unless the government told you, which, you know what, I'm actually, you know what? It's fine.
I could be onto something. I could be a little onto something. I don't know.
You could. This is a whole network. We got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we fly it out to Zach Bagans' museum. So we're flying across the country on an airplane.
Was it private or like commercial?
It has to be. There's no way. Like, they have money, but they don't have that money.
So commercial?
Yeah. You land in Vegas. Okay. You bus over to fucking Bagans. You get in his museum. You take it out of the fucking box and put it in a rocking chair. Okay?
A wheelchair.
Almost. I was like, because it's that fucking old. But anyways. Shits. And in the episode, Zach Bagans touches the fucking doll.
Bare hands?
Bare hands.
Is Zach still alive?
Yes, Zach is...
He touched the doll?
He touched the doll. And supposedly he said that the demon told him to. Here's my other thing.
Oh my god. White people!
Here's my thing. Why would you ever expose something that has evil in it to others?
Girl, that's how COVID started.
Exactly.
Because the government...
Because the government flew around and...
found out.
And not to mention, so like... Spirits jump.
They do.
They jump. They jump objects.
They do.
So why would we never think that this wouldn't jump into another person, place, or thing?
I like the way you're thinking. I like where this is headed. This is bringing logic back, you know? I know there's a bunch of people in a certain color hat that want to make a certain place great again. Can we bring back logic, though?
That's why I like indie investigators, like, right? Because they don't follow trends. They're using
like, I ain't gonna touch it. The foot,
right?
You touch it for rock paper scissors.
Rock paper scissors. Here, let's draw straws.
Pick a number 1 through 10.
Whatever that spirit says, you're it.
Y'all, let's play hide and seek. Whoever the spirit finds first. Bruh.
But this all screams a hoax.
Entirely.
To me, it screams hoax.
Entirely. And this cannot be the country that the U.S. Constitution was written on. Like, I'm sorry. You can't. I just know for a fact there is a blue-haired barista watching this and going, they don't respect their pronouns. I just knew it. See how I make fun of everyone?
But I mean, like, make it like in my brain. I was sitting here because when I first saw this, I was like, okay, something make it make sense for me. When I saw it again, and I was like researching a couple of other things the Warrens have done, I'm like, please make it make sense.
No, like
absolutely make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go into this little snippet, and I'll probably cover it. I covered it once before you came on as a co-host. If you've ever been on Netflix, I believe it's called 28 Days Haunted. It was a limited series by Tony, the son-in-law. And what he did was he found 3 haunted locations that the Warrens deemed haunted. Mind you, Not their big.
Now you're literally sounding like me.
Not their big locations. No one went to the Conjuring house. No one went to the house of the Devil Made Me Do It. No one went overseas in England to that location. Not those locations. We picked 3 obscure, not very documented haunted locations.
Okay.
And made 2 paranormal investigators and a medium in 2 of the locations. So 2 locations had 3 people. 1 location had 2 people, and that one I thought those 2 people were about to fucking just murder each other at one point.
Why?
Because they have to stay in there for 28 days with no connection to the outside world.
Wait, and I don't mean scale. Wait. In America, this happened in America.
Yes, it did.
When did the show come out?
2022?
Okay, so under Joe Biden's presidency.
21 to 22, but it was probably filmed in 21.
Okay, cool. So maybe that's what was on Hunter's laptop, because the government...
No, absolutely not. The theory is that he was trying to prove the theory that Ed and Lorraine had came up with when it comes to haunted locations.
Which is?
If you allow yourself to stay in a haunted location for 28 days with no outside interference, you will pierce the veil.
Oh,
and
no,
yes.
no, I'm good that day. I think I'm busy, actually.
You're like, I'm busy.
No, like, I just checked my calendar. Mr. Beast makes people, like, stay in a room for 100 days, but he gives them, like, $700,000.
Yeah, no, these people didn't get money out of this.
Bills are still due, bitch.
Bills are still due. Yes, they are. And
I
watching people literally eat each other alive through animosity towards each other.
I was like, I'm sorry, finish the fucking sentence. What the fuck?
Animosity towards each other. Like, the way some men had talked to one girl, I was like, I'd have stabbed you in your sleep. Because ain't no way.
The government...
Because the government told me to.
Because the government told me to. I know that's right. I know that's right.
All right. So anyways, I believe it's a hoax.
Wholeheartedly.
It reads as a hoax. If it is true, they're not doing a good job anymore, or that demon has well left the building.
That demon's like, fuck y'all.
Right?
That demon's like,
you have capitalized off of me enough.
You know that
I ain't getting no
walking in
royalties.
with like a ghostly Starbucks in hand, like, what we fucking up today, huh? Where my contract, bitch? Like, y'all are pretend scary. I'm real scary.
Right? All right, so let's wrap up.
I just know that ghost is afraid of Bad Baby. I just know.
Any spirit should be afraid of Bad Baby.
Spirit should be afraid of Bad Baby. I love her so much.
Like, she's just ready. She's, whew, man. Okay.
Reeling it in.
So, I personally like the Annabelle movies. I think Hollywood's done a great job keeping them fun, and they definitely do a good job of making her creepy, because no one's going to think the Annabelle, the Raggedy Ann doll, is that scary, especially since it was a brand new doll. Like, you gotta add some pizzazz to make people go, oh, that's legit. That's fucking scary, right?
Yeah.
I also know, and everybody needs to know this, these are very loosely based off the Annabelle story. Loosely. There was never a cult involved. There was never a pregnant wife and her husband getting murdered. There was never... What else was there? There was never... I think the ending of the Annabelle movie, the roommates supposedly got offed. Or someone did, by a cult member.
But didn't they live in real life?
In real life, yes. So, like, the movies take the loosely based story, right, and they turn it into entertainment.
They literally said the part of this movie that's based on a true story is that it's filmed on Earth.
Here's the thing, though. Annabelle, what is it? Devil Made Me Do It Conjuring movie. The Conjuring itself. What's that other one? The one that... I think it was in England, whatever the other one is. Those are versions that Lorraine Warren. I thought that was a nun movie. Oh no, The Last Rites is the newest one coming out, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. All of those had Warren's and or Lorraine and or Tony's input. They were
like on set.
They were on set. As like consultants.
Okay, so like producers adjacent.
Yes. Sharing what it was like. Okay. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
If you listened to, and this is for the audience, if you listened to the episode I did, I think it was for The Conjuring House, right? Yeah, The Conjuring House, because I haven't done the Devil Made Me Do It one yet. The Warrens never used a nonfiction writer. They used a fiction writer and told them to spruce it up when writing their books.
And we all know that fiction means fake.
Correct. Embellished.
You are an English speaker.
Okay, I want everyone to keep that in mind. The Warrens are all about bringing the drama.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the only movie loosely based off the alleged story of Annabelle is Annabelle. The origins and the Coming Home movies that followed are not connected to the 1971 haunting. The doll itself, clearly, for a creep factor in the movie, they used a porcelain doll, which is way more sinister than a Raggedy Ann. There's no married couple who had the doll first. There's no cult ties, and there is at no time where the ladies and the fiance try to dispose of the doll prior to the Warrens taking possession. So in the movie, they try and get rid of the doll, and she comes back. Every time they try, kind of like a Ouija board, like in the Ouija board movies. Every time they try to burn it, or it comes back.
Somehow fucking returns. Yeah.
Right. So that never happened. The movies do what they're intended to do, which is to entertain us. And Lorraine Warren and her son-in-law Tony did consult on most of the Conjuring franchise movies, such as this one. Okay, that's my whole thing. The Warrens are a bunch of frauds. The son-in-law is capitalizing off of it. Not only that, but he's also a producer. So might as well keep cashing in on your money, Cal, dude.
Because the government.
All right. What do you think, Nino? I always love it when we talk about these because when we did the Conjuring House, you were just
So I'm gonna be the one to say this. Hey guys. If you are in the presence of something paranormal or weird or demonic, leave. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know I'm giving really sage advice, and you know what? Maybe not just sage advice. Maybe we'll give some Palo Santo advice, or an egg cleanse advice.
An egg cleanse.
Who the fuck decided to make Zach Bagans? First of all, okay. Secondly, this literally sounds like exactly what's happening with Selena's music. Selena Quintanilla Perez. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This literally sounds like exactly what her family is doing and what all of this is like. I don't know. This just... If you're going to be fake, at least be somewhat real about it.
At least keep it consistent.
That's all I got. At least keep it consistent. Because, why would you be like, zhuzh it up? Why would you tell your ghostwriter, zhuzh it up?
Well, not only that, why would you keep it behind a case?
Why'd you falsify it?
Right. Why would you keep it behind a case, but then fly it all around and then agree to take it out? Like nothing's going to happen. And why is everything these people touch demonic?
I wish I knew. Why is anything demonic?
Why? Because people touched it.
Why? Tell them that it's human nature.
How does a new doll get possessed?
Because the government.
Oh my god. The fucking government.
Because the government. Y'all,
Yeah.
I just know that these hoes is gonna meet God. And God's gonna be like, hey yo. I saw what you did down there.
I want everyone to also remember Ed Warren is a self-proclaimed demonologist.
Ooh.
And Lorraine Warren was claiming to be a medium.
But she's a large.
Stop it. Okay, anyways, that's my mid-season rant. Oh, also, just to remind everybody, in a couple of episodes, we will be taking a mid-season break.
Yes. We have 2 episodes left of the first half of this season, and our mid-season break, which Chrissy is going to pull up while I stall, unless you already have it pulled up.
Our mid-season break begins at the end of May, so our last episode will be airing on the 24th, and then we will be on break, and our first episode back will be on the 9th of August.
Yeah. Mid-season break. Yeah. So the season hiatus will last from the 31st of May to the 2nd of August.
Correct.
And then we will be back on
in
August
your ears,
9th.
ranting about some new things.
Yeah, we're going to start off quarter 1 and quarter 2 movie review because Slim Pickens, bitch.
Oh my god.
Slim Pickens!
They're like, no, we gave you everything in 2024.
No, they're like, you guys got The Substance, you got Smile 2, you got Honora. That's not a horror, but like listen, I'm not against Mikey Madison winning. That shit should have gone to me. Anyways. Because the government.
Like,
okay. Well, anything else you want to say before we bibbity boppity wrap it up?
Shout out to our You Run podcast team. We love you guys. Thank you.
You run.
And shout out to our subscribers and followers and listeners all over everywhere. I love engaging with you guys. You're so fun.
I know. I'm so maybe one of these episodes we will break ground in India.
Ooh. Maybe.
I don't know. I feel it in my chest that we will.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. What do you have?
Anyways, I'm gonna go be a raging cunt elsewhere. I want to give a shout out to Chrissy, to You Run, to us, bitch.
Ooh.
We're so close to halfway of season 2. That's crazy.
I know.
Maybe at some point this summer, Chrissy and I are gonna meet up.
Maybe
I'm gonna make a quick little pit stop over to Florida. Lord. And guess where we're gonna go? We're gonna go to Utah. We're gonna go to Turner. Just kidding.
I would rather stay in Lizzie Borden's house than go to Utah.
I would literally have a wedding dance with the Annabelle doll barehanded. Like
facts.
No, like but yeah, shout out to the people who Ramadan's long over, but like shout out to the people who are doing and completed Ramadan. At the time of the filming of this episode, we are starting the 2nd week. It's rough. That's it. Yeah, shout out to my husband, my sister, God, my friends, all the good stuff, all the good people. Shout out to Beyonce, I guess. I don't know if she's coming for me. Jojo Siwa, but the only Jojo I will ever know in my life is Get Out Right Now. There's 2 Jojos we have growing up in our generation. We have Jojo, and when I say Jojo, I never fucking mean Siwa. Let's be so for real. There's 2 Jojos in our life. There's Jojo, and then there's Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo.
It's giving Ed, and Eddie, you know?
It is.
Yeah, listen, I know that we have just talked your ear off about these conspiracy theories and things that are fake as fuck, but our love for you is real. So click the show notes, purchase the merch if you're able to, give us 5 stars, follow us and official Nino Daniel on all social platforms, leave us a review, a comment, a suggestion, and if you're a brand or business looking for sponsorship advertising opportunities, click the show notes and send us an email. We'd love to work with you. Now back to paranormal. Just kidding. Listen, guys, we know you don't want to leave, but since you have to go, and I know it's painful that you have to go, you want to stick around with Annabelle and like all this stuff, and we know you don't want to leave, but since you have to go, this fucking bitch.
I know, I'm sorry. I
It's okay. I like knocked over my entire fucking. God. Listen, I'm going to try it one more time. 3rd time's the charm.
That's right.
We know you don't want to leave, but since you have to go, you might as well creep out. Bye.
Bye.